Trying to make sure. All right, we live. We live. It is definitely about 8:58 on Friday, November 6th. Um, it's your boy Afterthought. This is and will always be playing politics. We're gonna have some conversation here. We're gonna talk to my man from up north, man with the mic. I'll be introducing him shortly. We got a range of topics we want to go over. So we're just gonna get into it in a minute here. Miss T is walking in the building. Shouts out to her. And let me introduce you to my man from up north, up in Camden, New Jersey. He is definitely influence and a mentor to me, and he's got some good information. This is man with the mic. Shouts out to him, fam.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Thanks for the intro.
Appreciate it. Yeah, well, it's been a lot of things we've got to go through. So, I wanted to make sure we got all the particulars out the way right away, because this is going to be interesting. So, one of the first things that we definitely got to talk about is these election results.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the election results. What you thinking so far?
This election, I didn't catch the last word. Did you say what do I think so far?
Yeah, what are you getting out of this election so far?
What am I getting out of this election so far is, I feel like it's something else at play, something else is afoot. To be completely honest with you. I feel like our voting, the way that we vote, is going to be tore down. And something else is going to come into play. And that's a little bit long range. Short range, if we're just looking at the two, Biden and Trump, y'all knew this was the game. You knew this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like everyone that's been doing the due diligence and researching what's going on behind the scenes knows that they got to get Trump out of there, because if they don't get Trump out of there, everybody's going to jail or they die. You know what I'm saying? If they don't take care of Trump will come in there and really clean house. So
I see that. I see that aspect of it. I wanna first off stick with these elections and what we're seeing, because I've personally looked at it, and if you took these maps that they're showing us and gave them to a 5th grade class and asked them out of red and blue who controlled what area, I'm pretty sure they would say red controlled the areas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So my thought process is, this is common sense, and it's fraud to the highest level.
Oh, it's fraud. It's fraud, and the way that I feel it's fraud, and I feel like there's only two ways that this can possibly go, or why things are the way they are. Either this is complete fraud, or this is theatrics, it's a game, and everybody is in it, and it's the government versus the people. That's the only those are the only things. Because if you want to look at it as fraud, and you want to address the fraud, you would address the fraud by saying, one, remember how when Trump got elected, they wanted to do away with the electoral college, because they were like, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but he won the electoral college. Now this go round, they aren't even mentioning the electoral college, and they're going strictly off of the popular vote.
Okay.
Well, what's going on with that? That's different. And remember, Trump in the debate, he said, with the electoral college, we still got that. So I think he knew what was coming,
you think
and
so?
Preparing for it. Everybody has to understand what we are dealing with right now started the day that he won the initial election. They started to ramp up against him, or to ramp up against making sure he does not repeat, or that he didn't finish his term. Now he's finishing his term. He got past the part where they were going to impeach him. Now they got to make sure he don't get back in. Because every president on their first term kind of plays the game. The second term, they act like who they really are.
Right.
So his second term, this one he was like, all right, you know, you've been hearing about people saying the military tribunals, this, that, and the third. Was it the one in Michigan where they were going to kill the mayor or something like that? Like they took it off TV?
Yep.
Like they were holding the tribunal out there to people.
Yep.
Like this, it's going left.
But here's the thing that I'm starting to look at, and I'm starting to see more and more every day, is outside of the blatant lies and the boldness, it's not being covered. And
no one is speaking on it.
When nobody's covering the information, nobody's talking about the information. It's just like Hillary Clinton right now. Hillary Clinton's whole email scandal is still up in the air. Nobody knows what the hell. The guy said today that politics have been corrupt for years and it's always been like that, blah, 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 whatever. So my response to that is, okay, so why are we still electing the same fucking people? You say you want change, you say you want different shit, but we're still electing at a 90 percentile Democrats who haven't done shit for us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's kind of like I'm an independent, but my thought process goes very simple. Whoever has the policies that affects us better, that's where I'm going with it. There's no Joe Biden policies out there, except for the fact that he is clearly going to raise taxes. Let's go to that real quick and just I'm gonna jump back to my point. But I had a person say some dumb shit to me today again.
Listen, I was watching it was on another page, and the brother had Angela Stanton, who ran for a seat down there in Georgia. And she said, every black people, y'all running out here and y'all voting for Biden. This is the man that took that is the reason why you probably didn't have a father in your house. This is the man that is pushing, and you can go on their site. They said the first thing that they're pushing is for the LGBTQ community. They also are pushing that at 8 years old, a child can choose and have a gender transformation. They're also pushing for the co-ed bathroom in high school, junior high school, elementary school. These are the people that you're electing. You dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
You're dumb.
Electing people.
Y'all gonna be so. You think that Trump started something? Nah, he don't have to do nothing. All he got to do is let Biden get in and let y'all tear up. Y'all gonna lose your shit and tear the country up. You're gonna be like, we're not built for this. This is not what we signed up for. Yes, it is. When you elected him, yes, it is. He signed the contract, and nobody is covering or saying anything about the pedophilia. They're not saying nothing about
the
Hunter Biden. They're not saying nothing about all the things that he's under investigation for.
Allegedly.
And not only him.
Let's say Hillary, allegedly.
Obama. The whole administration from the Obama era, including the FBI and CIA, are all under investigation.
Well,
and they are not covering or ever mentioning that Trump got control of the banks, that Trump put us back on the gold standard, that we are now sovereign as American citizens. America is no longer a corporation. What do you think that they are going to do as soon as they get back in office? They're going to tear your dollar down. And they're going to extort you. Hold on. That's crazy.
Like the thing that I don't get, and I'm just going to pick on the taxes statement. The things that I don't get is people are ranting and raving about the hike in minimum wage. They're ranting and raving as if minimum wage did some kind of miraculous, it was some kind of miraculous deal to get $15 an hour minimum wage. Meanwhile, they turn around and vote for somebody who's going to raise your taxes up. So the minimum wage hike that you just got for $15 an hour literally just is nullified. And it's going to make it even worse. You're not going to be able to afford where you're living because property taxes are going to go up.
Let me explain to you.
This is crazy.
How adding $15 an hour is going to kill small business. If you have a small business means let's say you garner $300,000 a year, and you have employees. At $15 an hour, you now don't have a full-time employee and a part-time employee or two employees. You have one employee.
Exactly.
Because you cannot cover you can't cover the staff the way that you were before. At $15 an hour, that is technically $600 a week, right? 110. $600 a week times 52 weeks is roughly $30,000. So you have a $30,000. You have one employee that makes 10% of your income, your gross. One. Now, if you have 30% of what you make is going to your employees. That's not counting your overhead for running the business. And then after you pay your overhead, which is usually around 40%, you're left with, let's say, 30%. So you make $90,000 a year out of a business that garners $300,000 a year, and you still got to pay the taxes on that $90,000.
Here's a very simple math equation.
So you might as well go ahead and work for somebody.
Here's something very simple. And this is basic. We're taxed on every fucking thing. So just because you raise minimum wage to $15, like he said, small business is going to be the first that starts running and having issues because they can't afford the employees. But not just that. Look at when the housing market. Now you can't afford it because you got these higher property taxes. You got people losing their houses or barely making rent and mortgage payments now because of this whole COVID stuff. And this shit goes up.
But
everything goes up.
Look at the dominoes falling.
That's exactly what it is.
Dumbasses don't understand. If I raise the minimum wage, then I raise the standard of living, which raises the tax, which raises everything in that area because evidently you're making more money. So now I can charge more. You're $15 after the taxes, and after they raise everything, you're still making. You might as well stay at the minimum wage you were at.
Exactly.
Now, this is the setup. The setup is for the people to lose sovereignty, to lose control of their being and their possession. And once it falls over into the hands of the government can dictate people. And you become a product. You're a crop now. You're just crop. And I want people to remember, you lose your house. Let your houses fall over to the banks. Who owns the bank? Whoever owns the bank holds the purse string, calls everything. So you can lose your house. You can lose, let's say, your utilities. Your insurance, you probably won't carry your insurance. So you got to get government insurance. You got to get government assistance for your housing, for your utilities. You may have to get government assistance for your housing. Is
that not the Democratic plan?
Damn near a ward of the state. Everything that you had is falling back into the government hand, and that's what they want. Because if you fall back into the government hand, when they decide to cut something, you have to follow suit to what they're saying.
Yep.
Nobody is looking at the dominoes like they're looking at the bush. You gotta look through the bush.
Man,
you gotta look at what's moving around in the bush. My feeling that I have, that I've been thinking about, that kind of worried me, because I support Trump more than I would support Biden. The issue that I'm having is the way that you're going to cure voting is for everyone to be scanned, or to be DNA verified when they go to do their vote. That's how you get around it, which means that's how you get the chip in.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
you didn't think about that, right?
Yeah, I never would have thought about that because if you really think about, that's also how they verify that you can leave your house and you've been vaccinated. You could just have the chip do everything.
All your medical, your phone, every people understand your phone that you have in your pocket right now. It tells this is another thing. Your phone will tell them if you went into a polling station and voted.
I'm pretty sure.
No, it's not. Your phone is tracked. It always tracks because it has to link to a satellite in order to send the signal out or even to beam out. So, like if you were to shoot somebody, right? Like right now, if you were to go drive 10 miles and shoot somebody, it could ping your phone where you were and find out in proximity where you near.
True. I get that.
All right, so this is what I'm saying. They're going to do away with the voting. They got ways right now of telling, like they're saying that all of this, all of this people didn't vote this, that, and the third. They can verify it if they wanted to.
All these.
Use your phone.
Wait, time out. And that's another thing I want to address too.
Go ahead.
A lot of people. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. There are several outlets that have stated that a lot of people haven't voted, but you also can pull up the population reports versus the voting records and see that none of that lines up. There's more votes turned in than there is population in several states.
Right. So I watched Trump last night. I watched it today after. I watched it today and watched what he said, and I watched the post on even from different news media sources. There were more women and more minorities that came out and voted for Trump than ever before. So, how are people saying, and this is what's really bothering me, how are people saying that he lost when he expanded his base bigger than it was when he beat Hillary?
And I think I have a screenshot of what you're talking about. Let's see if I can pull it up because there's a post that, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I got it right here, and it's from nationalreview.com. Okay, so for anybody it's on, as soon as it focuses in, you'll be able to see it. Nationalpost.com is the website. It's right there on the phone. See if I can get it to focus. But anyway, I'm going to read this information on there. It says the Edison poll showed support for Trump rose among African Americans, or as Joe Biden will call them, Blafrican Americans, Asian Americans, and Latinos. In particular, 18% of black men voted for Trump in 2020 compared to 13% in 2016. And black women increased for Trump from 4% in 2016 to 8% in 2020. So that means that it doubled as far as black women. Trump also roughly doubled his share of gay voters.
Wow. Without ever supporting anything that has to do with the LGBTQ. I haven't heard him come out and say anything that supported strongly LGBTQ agendas or stances. He didn't. I don't remember him saying that.
Well,
he just didn't fight them.
The information is.
He just left them alone. You over there, I'm over here.
Exactly.
And that alone speaks volumes. Now, if he did all of that, how the hell is somebody that knew that they were losing the election suddenly good ahead? Biden is not celebrating. What
Right.
you're seeing right now, they know what's going on behind the scenes. I feel like this is getting ready to pull the veil off of a lot of crap.
Well,
and I told, go ahead.
remember we were talking, and I said this is negotiation period.
This is negotiation period.
I really feel like this is negotiation period because more information is coming out. I just don't understand anybody supporting Biden that would just be okay with the way the fraud aspect of life is going. That is kind of that's different. And the reason I say different is because I don't think it's ever been this blatant. I think we've had some crazy stuff happen in the history. We've seen some crazy things happen with these elections. But this is like blatant in your face. I don't give a damn if you see it or not.
Right. And they're going, and it's crazy that people have said how blatant Trump has been. Why isn't anybody saying anything about this? This is blatant. And even when you have Democrats or people that voted for Biden say, something about this don't look right.
Mm-hmm.
Trump didn't move a point in, 2 days? If there's a bunch of good old boys out there, you telling me that they didn't vote?
Right. That's a point I was about to bring up. So I guess the good old boys, they don't exist. But let's think about something basic. If we put our names in a hat that has 1,000 ripped piece of paper, right? And me and you put our names in there, and it goes missing, and it comes back, and all of them just have your name.
All just your name. How is that possible?
What's going on? And then you got the guy. You got a guy. His name is Richard something. He's on the. His name is out there because he got questioned by the FBI and the CIA. But this guy said his boss came in, and told them get all the ballots, pretty much all the mail-in ballots that they had come in. They date stamped them for November 3rd to count them in the election.
See, that's crazy. Like, I feel people are on some vigilante type stuff towards the current sitting president.
I think so too.
And that's when I'm a black people, young, stop your shit. Simple and plain. None of you have looked into that man, into Joe Biden, and you voted for a monster.
And didn't care.
And didn't care even when you were told.
And the interesting thing is,
and this is what I want y'all to realize. When Obama left, people were happy that he was elected, but nobody was happy with what he did in office. And if he didn't do anything in office, why would you elect the guy that was underneath him that Obama would not let talk?
I don't get that. He muffled this man the whole 8 years.
He kept him quiet. Trump got Pence on a leash, but he got Pence on a dog. He got him on a dog leash, like, go get him. Because he went out there and he was chewing on Kamala Harris. And when he tells him to go get him, he can go get him. So listen to this. Y'all simple-minded people. How does Obama, who was working for Joe Biden, become Joe Biden's boss? Nobody heard of Obama until he did the 2008. Oh no, it was when he did the speech for Joe Biden's first run.
Yep.
And everybody said, "Who the hell is that?"
And ain't nobody know nothing about that man prior to them. I mean, Chicago knew. I will say
Right.
Chicago knew about him because he was a senator in Chicago. I lived in Chicago, so his voice was known around there. I'm not sure what for because just like today, Chicago's a shithole. So it was a
Wait, so this
shithole
is what
back
I'm about
then.
to say. So y'all telling me with Obama, right? This motherfucker is from Chicago. He never went back to Chicago to go talk to his people. Yo, y'all gotta cut this shit out. I'm the president now. Y'all making me look bad. Yo, y'all gotta cut this out.
No, damn that.
Enough is enough.
Take a step
Why
further.
wouldn't you take the tank? March down the middle of Chicago. I want every last one of these gang leaders rounded up right now. I'm gonna let y'all niggas go, but y'all will come in and come talk to me right now. Because this gotta stop.
Too easy to get rich off of that.
Y'all gonna have to do something.
Too easy to get rich off of that. Too easy to get rich off of that. Too easy to get rich off of that.
But he didn't. Did he get rich off the gay community? Because he sure enough went down there and was like, "Oh God,
yes,
how could they shoot up a club?"
Yes.
He got rich off of.
He got rich off of Obamacare and he got rich off of the gay community. If you think for 1 second that the alphabet community and these different organizations and different states aren't getting some kickback, there hasn't been anything that a Democratic leader that has put a policy in play where the Democratic Party was not getting some form of kickback. And that's what their job is, to get in the power to get the kickback. If you get the kickback, that's how you get the money.
Right.
Case in point, Obamacare kicks back money to the Democratic Party.
Right. All day.
Oops, sorry for anybody watching this or might have heard that, because facts are out there. Motherfuckers don't want to do research, don't do it. But I'm gonna tell you what I've come across. I am so sick and tired of people try to have an intellectual conversation with them. You try to give them some facts, some information that they can go look up themselves and read, and they so busy telling you about their fucking personal opinions that they can't even understand or see what's going on.
Right, and I don't care about your personal opinion. I don't care about your personal opinion if you cannot say, I don't like this man because of this.
Exactly.
Trump is a racist. Says who and why?
Explain.
Do you know that Joe Biden put all these motherfuckers in jail? Do you know that this man don't like you? He said that he likes when the little black, when they jump up and down on his
and rub his legs, bro. And rub the hairs on his legs. What's going on here?
What in the damn hell is going on here? That's all I want to know. But you're telling me it's okay,
bruh. And I
feel for y'all because I feel for my people because I know that you want to do good. But the only way that you're ever going to do good, because you can say the same about me, that I'm wanting to do is just tearing down his own. All I'm saying is, when I started to learn, in the last 7 months, I've learned more than I've ever learned about politics. And the one thing that I learned is that the people that are saying that they are us or part of us aren't us, and they're not part of us. They're not on our side. They're not on our side. Why are they not covering any of these topics in the election? Why was none of this relevant? Why did everybody dismiss when Trump asked him about his son? Why did y'all all dismiss the fact that the moderators never let the president of the United States rebuttal him? Why? If I knew nothing else, I would at least be like, well, why they do that to him? Because that don't look right. Do any of y'all have any? Nobody has no answers, do they? No.
They're not going to, but hold your thought. Let me just give some acknowledgments real quick. Shouts out to Two Royalty. They make our shirts. They currently have our Unity Over War shirts out for purchase. Just hit them up. Also, if you have a custom design you want them to look at, hit them up at 2royalty@gmail.com. Also, follow us on IG, 2royalty on IG. Also, if you want to leave any comments, leave those comments. If you want to subscribe. Anything you want to talk about it. I want to get some information out because these conversations are getting more and more annoying every day. And personally, I just don't understand why people don't want to have a conversation. You bring up the subject and it's all hands off or it's racist, period, point blank. You can't change my mind on that. Okay, if that's the way you feel, then you continue down that path of ignorance. Because you can't tell me that someone's racist and you're going a certain way when the man that you're calling race that you're saying is not racist, aka Joe Biden, is holding hands with Robert Byrd and eulogizing this man. And he's a known former KKK leader that passed away. And then people don't realize that during that same time period, you got your boy Donald Trump out there getting awards with our legends. I'm going to keep saying that. Muhammad Ali, legend. Rosa Parks, legend. So he's out there with these guys doing things for Black America, doing things in the community, but he's the racist. He's building step-by-step processes to integrate people that were in prison longer than they should have been. Let's say that.
Under the Biden Act. Under the Joe. Under that
correct.
Crime bill.
Under the Biden Act. Under the Biden Act. So it just comes to a point where it just gets to a point where it's just like, all right, enough is enough. You got one man trying to fix the fucking act that you're voting, that your campaign guy created.
Right. The shit that everybody's talking about, free my homie, bring so-and-so home. You're like, all right, I'm sending him home. And then y'all don't back him.
Right.
And,
right.
Come on, man.
Free my nigga so-and-so. Free my nigga so-and-so. He got hit with a bag of weed. Okay. Donald Trump says, not only are we going to free him here, this works, and this is how you're going to get all of that taken care of. First step, 91% of African Americans are affected by this. Okay? Not only 91% of African Americans are affected by this, but this also means that I'm going to rephrase that. This also means a vast majority of those people being set free are African American. Does it not?
Right. Right. They your homies. They the homies.
But people aren't paying attention to
people that shouldn't be in there. And they like one of the things that like we were talking today, they said, well, the problem is now when they come home, where they gonna go? Some of the people ain't got no place to live. They gonna go right back into crime. I guarantee you, you ain't gonna catch them. No matter what you do.
No matter what you do.
People are not gonna go. They're not gonna go back. I do 30 years. I don't care if I just got to collect cans and be outside and smoke. I'm going to be happy not to be inside of that box.
Bro, here's the thing.
Being in the box is for people that don't know. If you've ever done longer than 3 days in jail, by the third or fourth, when you go into jail, they say that when you're put into any type of solitary confinement within 30 days, you have brain damage. You have mental damage. So the first thing, besides the process that happened with you being intake, when you just go into that room, you're put into a room that has a dim color. It has a split floor window for you to see out of, and you are put in there with someone that you do not know. You don't know why they are there. Sometimes it's 2 of y'all, sometimes it's 6 of y'all. And you have to manage a relationship with somebody for 23 hours out of the day. The other hour is with a whole bunch of other people that you were out there with for a whole hour. Now, some of you cannot stay in a room with your spouse for 23 hours out of the day.
Talk about it.
That sounds funny, right?
Talk about it. It's facts.
But think about this. When you're put into that little room, your mind starts and your body starts to learn how to jail. The JAIL. You start to learn how to live in this small microcosm of an environment. Your brain starts to shut down.
Like you said.
It cannot think outside of the spot that it's in. And you have hundreds of thousands of us that were put in jail behind this. Kamala Harris put 127,000 black and brown people in jail. What the are y'all thinking?
Well, wait.
She's the vice president of the man that wrote the crime bill. Oh my God.
Wait. Let's not even talk about the Catholic priest shit that she hid, but we ain't gonna get on that. That's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother topic. We're trying to deal. I'm trying to stay on topic with this. The thing that bothers me the most is that Donald Trump was a businessman that went out and was just doing business. He was a shark with other sharks. Joe Biden was a werewolf amongst a bunch of lambs.
Exactly. And like I told the guy today, I said the thing that people are not understanding is that Joe Biden has been hiding in plain sight, plotting and planning this for quite some time and getting away with this shit. And that's the one thing that I kind of like want people to realize when you look at Trump. Without this man, none of this shit gets exposed. If Hillary would have won, we would know none of this shit, and we will all be sitting there learning Chinese.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I just thought about too. Now that you said that, when Trump, right? Trump he didn't really hide who he was.
That's what made it key.
Bad about Joe Biden and with that whole situation. None of the people had to put their trust in Trump. He was doing business, and the people in general of the United States did not have to put their trust in him to do good by them. Joe Biden, the people put their trust in you, and you fucked them.
Well, here's another. No, damn that. We're gonna take it a step further, because if that's the case, that goes back to your boy, Barry.
Which one? Who?
Barry. But like I said,
okay.
I'm gonna stay on topic. Let's jump to another subject because I got something else for you.
They win it.
I'm gonna jump on to another subject. So let's talk about these ballots, bro. Let's get on these ballots, man. Let's get on this ballots. All right. So once again, to anybody that's watching, I'm on the phone with Man from the Mic out of Camden, New Jersey. We spoke earlier. We speak all the time about the politics situation. He's a mentor to me, and we've been discussing what's been going on that we're seeing in the race. Currently, if the race is exactly like it's been for the last 2 fucking days, it's 253 to 213. Another poll showed 264 to 214. Okay.
I think it went up.
Yeah. I don't give 3 monkeys at this point. And the reason I'm saying that is because of this. The problem that I'm looking at is at the end of the day, you have a lot of ballots that have miraculously shown up. You've got videos, video evidence. Hell, you got people doing it themselves. We don't know if they're plants. Allegedly, they're doing all this shit. But just the amount of hatred and the level of hatred that people are showing that they are willing to go through tells you that something is fucking wrong with this election. The level of hatred alone. If you think about, you seen the video with the sisters, right? Tell me you seen that video. That was wild.
I couldn't hear the end.
How do you kick out your sister and tell her never to fucking come back just because she has on Trump attire?
Listen,
This shit is crazy.
people, y'all, and this is the problem. Y'all, I can't believe that y'all actually go this far, that's why I'm trying to I try to reel myself in, and I don't watch some of this stuff because I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, this is just going to happen the way it's going to happen.
Exactly.
But y'all got to think about something. We've never had this type of feeling in our country like this. If they built this up from the Hillary and Trump campaign to now for it. So they said if Hillary got elected, we're going to war. If Trump gets elected, we're going to have a civil war. And they stuck with that narrative. People. We have the power to say, no, it's going to be this way or that way. So what? He gets elected. Okay, you got elected. We don't like what you're doing. We can impeach your punk ass.
Well, here's the thing. With him getting elected, currently the House and the Senate is looking good for, the red line. So it's going to be a fight just like every president has to go through. Let's be realistic for him to get things passed. That's just a part of supposedly the balance of power. However, there's this idea of packing the courts and all this crap he's looking at trying to do. But let's stay on the election fraud stuff.
But this is another thing though that goes along with that. You know how Trump knew this was going to happen? Have you looked at the Supreme Court?
Yes.
He set this up real good, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. He knew.
Well, here's the thing.
He knew this was coming.
He called it when excuse me. The reason I think he knew that this was going to happen is because when they first investigated him and he found those spies. And a lot of people don't know the whole report and everything that goes back. I'm going to say if you did some damn research, you'll know what the hell we're talking about. But the thing about it is a lot of people don't know that when Trump's camp found the spies that were looking into and investigating him, that's when all of this stuff started kicking off. So if you're willing to dive in and spy on my camp once, and now you're pissed off because I still beat that ass, I guarantee you the next time you're going to try something twice as bad. Hence, you have markers given out in polling locations. You have people that are voting for Joe Biden that are 117 years old and deceased. All alleged, but the information's out there.
Right.
It's crazy. And the problem that I have is when you tell anyone this, they'll get mad and say, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to know that I can go on the website and look at Hunter Biden and all his sex tapes, all of them free of charge with zero restriction.
The problem with the sex tapes is this that people have got to understand.
They're all underage.
It's that dad knew.
Yep.
If dad didn't know, that'd be different.
Not just that, a vast majority of them are underage.
Right. But this is what I'm saying. This thing on top of the presidential candidate knew about this.
But he knew.
Why is it that y'all look at the dumb shit? Y'all rather elect a demented pedophile traitor. This dude is part of the House of Cards. Like, leave that. Y'all need to get away from this.
I got you one better, because I got this thought is making me just boil, so I got to get off my chest. Kamala Harris. Now I'm gonna say this to each and every person that is watching. If you know a chick in your job that wasn't the brightest, but somehow, some way, slept her way to a promotion, you'd be like, I don't fuck with her like that. Right off the rip. You don't give a shit about how y'all used to chill. I don't fuck with her like that. Especially if the person that she had to sleep with was married. You're like, I don't fuck with her like that. But if you dig into Kamala Harris and you do some fucking research, you'll find out that Kamala Harris jump-started her career based off a 60-year-old politician in an affair. But we're going to say allegedly, just saying to those listening and watching, do the research. I have.
But the problem is with this. When you do that, you're not going to go look because they want to say you're a hater.
Oh,
or that you're still a loser.
Mm-hmm.
You're somebody that can't accept that the president lost.
I don't care if
somebody that lose.
I'm gonna put it out there right now. I'm at the point. Well, all right. Well, let me just clarify this right now. Yes, I voted. Whether or not I voted for Trump is none of your damn business. I will tell you I didn't vote for Biden. I might have voted for Daffy Damn Duck. I'll tell you I didn't vote for Kamala Harris. I'll also tell you that there's no way that knowing the information is out there like that I could vote or trust someone like that. Shouts out to Miss T. Welcome back to the building. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How's everybody else doing?
I'm chilling.
How you doing, man, with Mike?
What's going on?
Once again, for those newcomers or those who those who might not know, this is Friday night, Man with the Mic. We're going to try and do this every Friday. Man with the Mic out of Camden, New Jersey hits me up throughout the week. We talk, we share information, and this is our way of throughout the week. You know, we talk about our encounters. We talk about some things that we've seen. You know, we pass information back and forth through Twitter or email. So if you want to be involved with that, playingpolitiks@gmail.com. That's politics with a K, not a C at the end. All right. And just hit us up. Let me know what you think. Give us some topics. Do some research and tell us what you find. Because it's out there. It's out there. I mean, I was just looking today at the video where for the post office, the postal worker out of Pennsylvania.
Did you see what they've been doing in the post office? Wait, but you know, I forgot his name. He's over top of the post office. He said it came out. He said somebody had to pay for this.
The post, yeah.
Someone is going to jail for what they've done.
I can tell you who's going to jail. You look it up. It's that dude at I think it's Barstow or wherever the hell it is in Pennsylvania. Whatever that postmaster general is, that guy that runs that building, I don't know what the level is, but whoever that dude is, he is going to jail because he was the one that gave the word to take all of those ballots and predate them. They were collected on November 4th, and they were told to take those ballots and date them back to November 3rd.
You know what I don't get and I don't understand? Like, my man, like, I was in a discussion, they like, they throwing y'all trinkets. They don't give you this little $1,200, and then they give y'all this little bit of money with this, and it's just trinkets. You're owed a lot more. Okay. I get it. It's trinket.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else thought enough of our intelligence to focus with trinkets before. No one thought enough to say, you know what? Yeah, they stupid, but I'm going to give them this little bit to hold them over. No, they just let niggas die and starve and go through hell. I don't understand how. I don't understand how the information is in front of you.
And you don't want to look at it.
And you don't look at it. He's a sore loser. All right. You know what Trump said in that statement last night that really got me? He said, it's not about me or Joe no more. America cannot be shamed like this again.
Now, that goes to something that I like I said, I wanted to get on earlier today when we had our conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So the statement is that apparently he made us look like a fool. How are we making us look like a fool to the rest of the world when he's clearly saying, "Hey, America's got a problem that we need to deal with, and it's this election shit. We need to deal with it. We have a problem. Our system is flawed." How are you making it? You know why our system is flawed? Because you got this bullshit mail-in ballot where whoever the hell wants to can grab them at any time and fill them the hell out. There's no individual verification.
And save all Biden. Because how is it only Biden not coming in?
Only, man. And then the argument is this. And once again, this is why I need to talk to the people that are saying these things, because the argument is, well, the mail-in votes, Trump was telling people to vote in person and not do mail-in voting. Okay, special. What about your senior citizens that have always mail-in voted and they're voting for Trump?
Right.
What about your handicapped community, but still has a brain that can function and still have voting privileges, if that's possible in any way? But what about those votes? Because there's people out there that physically can't go in for whatever purpose to vote and have to rely on that mail-in vote. So why is it that we're not seeing any of this stuff come back for Trump? This shit is blowing my mind.
That's why I said either this is going to be a good guy or it's going to be a really bad guy. Trump, I told my mother, I said, he's either going to be the best president or the worst president we ever had. Because the way that this is looking, this is when I was a strong, very thorough supporter. And I was like, this dude is either going to be the worst or he's going to be the best. But I feel like this because I asked the question. Everybody is saying, you can't trust any politician.
Mm-hmm.
If that's true, so what do you do now? If you can't trust nobody, what do you do?
I'll do you one better.
What do you do?
I'll do you one better. Do you trust the person that everybody is quote unquote claiming, or you trust the person that has shown you who he fucking is?
And that's what, somebody just say that.
Because if you,
let me have an ignorant motherfucker that talk crazy.
Right. And during this time, I was telling a guy today, he was like, Joe this, Joe that, Joe that. I said, listen, I'll be honest with you. If Joe Biden was president, we'd be dead. So let's be realistic. I said, in a situation where you need an asshole to be an asshole, Donald Trump's there's no bigger asshole.
He's mad about it.
But what I'm saying is this is a situation that is global. So you can't go to a global community with a soft mentality of less talking. And you got to go there like, look, we're not going to stand for this shit. We've been backing y'all. This is how it's going to be because this is some fucked up shit. And y'all been doing this, that, and the third. And we know about all this. So how we watch this is this. We want to start all over again and try this shit again with these rules that we all going to make right now.
Y'all don't. These dumbasses will be all locked into the house and stay.
Right.
They set this up.
How do you kill a virus? You lock everybody else in the house and you starve
with the virus.
You starve the virus and the people as well and let them die. Man, get the fuck out of here. It's the stuff, the kind of stuff that is going on is like the kind of stuff that people that have voted needed to see, like, and they never wanted to have the conversation. Now that Biden has a lead, oh, now it's well, let's hear what your view is. Bitch, you know my view. What do I view about the election? I know what's going on. I see that there's some fraud going on. There's some BS going on with this election. I don't give a damn if Biden wins or Trump wins right now. I could care less because right now, the way this shit looks, shoot, I might run for president and go write up some votes. What the fuck? It's crazy, man. But once again, this is Afterthought. I'm on with Man with the Mic. This is Friday night, Man with the Mic night. We talking about the election results, the fraud information that we've seen, you know, why people don't want to see it. And let's get to another one. Let's get to this platform right here. Why aren't they viewing it? Why aren't they showing this?
Why aren't they showing it? And why aren't you, okay, why aren't y'all even showing the bad stuff about Trump? Instead of just, like, you can pull up documents with Joe. Show me. And this is a fight I almost got into earlier. Like, y'all got to realize, like, no one's pulling up anything on Trump. And when everybody said that he was under investigation, this, that, and the impeachment, he beat it. So if he beat it, that means, okay, that shit wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? If something was wrong with it, I was able to beat it. So leave it where it's at. These motherfuckers was under indictment, and he was under indictment for being a jerk.
Right.
He was under indictment for things against himself or being inappropriate to adults. These motherfuckers are under investigation for doing it.
Yeah. It just like you said, there's certain people right now that should already have been in jail, just pure accusation. Just off of accusation should already be in cuffs somewhere. But because of who they are and the level of power that they're at, that shit ain't gonna happen. I will say this though. As far as these elections go, and I'm gonna stay on this topic, I'm not voting anymore. I can't see a reason to. There shouldn't. I hate to sound like that, and I'm hoping that my thought process changes by the time it's time to vote again, because right now this process is so horrible and so corrupt. It literally goes, okay, well, they don't give a shit about our vote then.
Right. They're literally, to be honest with you, that's all that they're doing. And because you vote, and then you be like, damn, did they throw my vote away?
I'm going to tell you where your
vote
vote
mine, right? I've been living where I'm at for almost 2 years, right? I go in, I'm registered. They're like, we can't find you in the book. You got to do a conventional. What is that? You got to fill in all your information. You got to put your driver's license number on here. It's a paper ballot. Seal it. Hand it to this person. So y'all telling me y'all don't have my information here, even though I'm registered to vote? Okay. So now, what happens? Listen, check this out. All of the felons can't vote.
Yep.
Why? Why can't you vote? If you ain't raped somebody, you are out here murdering people. Why can't you vote? I may have become a criminal because of the lifestyle I was pushed into. I could not survive. So if someone else can help me provide opportunities so I won't have to do that, why wouldn't I be? I want that person. Why can't I vote? Why would you take away someone's right to vote if they are not raping people and they are not out here mass murdering people?
Let me ask you a better question. Why is it in certain cities you don't need to show proof? You just can go vote.
I couldn't hear you.
Why is it that in certain cities you didn't have to show proof to vote? Did you know that?
Why is that? Well, you can go back in and vote 2 or 3 times.
You guessed it.
Right.
Nobody's talking about that though. South Carolina, I believe, was one of the states that put that information out there right away. And just to show that it's not biased, that is a state that I believe Trump won. I believe he won.
Utah didn't. Who quit? Was it the
Utah Attorney General?
The Attorney General. Can you pull that up?
Yes, I can. I most certainly will, because I believe I took a snapshot of that too.
Mm-hmm. Now, also, they were saying that there was a truck that was in Philadelphia Convention Center where they're doing the recount in Pennsylvania. They left a truck outside, and they were going to blow up the convention center.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So, why would people associate that with being Trump to blow up the ballot?
Fearmonger and hate monger.
If he's trying to get a recount for Pennsylvania. That don't make any sense. Why would I blow up the thing that's happening?
Dude, that's just rhetoric. I can't find that article either. I'm trying to find that article, but I will tell you who it was. You can go and look it up. It was the Utah Attorney General. I don't recall if Utah was one of the Trump states or not, but the Utah Attorney General, it was on Twitter, came out and said that he is taking a leave of absence to help with the Trump campaign because things just didn't look right. So he's taking time out of his job that he just got apparently or might have already been seated. Who knows? Not the information that I know, but he's taking that information of being in the position he is and saying, you know what? This don't look right. I'm gonna take a leave of absence and go help the president. Bold statement. Bold move.
Bold statement.
Vernon Jones also came out and stated that they're not gonna let this go down like that. He said they're gonna protest it and look into it as well. Because if you literally look at this, how do you win all of these seats in the Senate? All of these seats in the House. I mean, they added like 29 seats in one area in the House or some shit like that. That was Republican. They were freshmen. That means these was the new people. They were bragging about 23 people added for Joe Biden. I'm like, this man on the caption, Mick. I wish I'd have took a picture, but I was in my boss's house. It said Democrats capture 23 seats, and underneath it says President Trump adds 29 new seats to his count. I'm sorry, I thought 29 and 23 were, you know what I mean? So
right.
Why is it that the president's getting this little tiny ass caption of, and he's getting freshmen? This means new minds, new ideas, new possible policies and adjustments that could benefit everybody. None of this is mentioned, but this big splash on the 23 for Joe Biden. Just saying.
Listen, the whole media is the Democrats is holding on to the media, and they're doing what they want. So I'm convinced like there's just some things happening that should not be happening, should not be going the way that they're going. And people are going to be upset, they're going to be mad, but the truth is the truth.
Exactly.
Y'all know this ain't right. Y'all know, people know this ain't right. You can feel it in your bones. This is not right. And that goes back to the second thing I was saying, unless all of them are in bed together. And that is a cop-out because we believe all our government is against us anyway. So,
well, they're all politicians. They all in bed together. And I think that's what gives Trump that edge.
Yeah. And I told him, like, I think him and Kennedy are the only two that are not related to everybody. And I think they're not connected to everybody else. So the game treats them different. All of the presidents are related except for I think 2 of them. Yeah. That's crazy.
Even Barack?
Yeah, Barack is related to the dude that shot the guy in the face. Dang, he owns Halliburton. It just went out of my head. Vice President George Bush Jr. Name went out.
Cheney?
Cheney. That's Barack's cousin.
What?
Oh, you already know? You already know? They're cousins.
Wow. The things you find out on Playing Politics.
A 13-year-old girl, on another thing, a 13-year-old girl did a genealogy of all presidents. And said they were all related. I think it's Dr. Kennedy.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Studies out there. I've seen it.
Yep.
You just got to look up. You got to want to know the information. You got to want to know
So they're all of a specific bloodline. That is an issue. That is an issue.
So I want to kind of like round the table so that way we can get out of here. It's going to get late on the East Coast where we at. So just real quick, what do you think is needed in order to change things? Because obviously the system that we've had in place for 47 plus years hasn't been working.
So what I think that is needed for, let's say America first. America needs to be represented by Americans. America lacks American. What I mean by that, I've been outside of the United States.
Man with the mic, speak up. I can't hear you. Speak up just a hair.
A certain pride and a certain stature about yourself. You're always excellent. You always, they viewed you as being a step in front of everybody. Not above, but you were the guy to beat if you were American.
Mm-hmm.
There was a pride about you. You brought some type of integrity to anything that you did.
You think that's gone?
Back to that. We need to get back to having a core of who we are. And then, as Black people in America, we were the bottom of the barrel. But we were good to each other. We loved ourselves. We don't love ourselves. So in order to change all of this, we need to rebuild from the inside out. And that's with individual people to their family to your block to your community to your county, and so forth and so on, until you're able to build up and have someone that is able to step into that presidency and respect what they're supposed to be doing.
So
like, our politicians aren't raised to be kings.
Yeah, they're raised to be politicians, which is all they know. But here's my question.
And who's just saying they're not a politician?
Donald J. But here's the question. Here's the question for us as Black people, as individuals, as human beings, as Americans even. What would you say that would be the biggest thing that we can do that will help everybody? I already have a viewpoint on it. I just want to get yours first.
That we can do it to help everybody. Vote low. Like I said, me personally is vote locally. Because once they see that you're affecting your change, you affect the change on a small scale in every region. In that small scale election, or those small scale determinations affect globally. They become big. Because if everybody in Texas is doing what they're supposed to do locally, when somebody as well as the president comes there, they know this is what the vibe is. This is what the energy is when you get to Texas. You're going to have to be here. You're going to have to do this. So it's really setting and making sure that we reinforce the standards from the government. This is who we are. This is what we want. We are, motherfucker, we are not run by you. The government don't run the people. The people run the government.
But the problem that I see is the people won't sit quiet enough to listen to each other and hear the different opposing sides, so that way they can get a clear transparency on why one goes one way and one vibes the other way. So that way, at the end of the day, you'll be able to, make a clear choice on policy versus rhetoric. You'll be able to look at facts versus, bullshit. Whereas, like right now, case in point, Free Spirit shouts out to you just because I like playing with them. That's why. The cards are just for my enjoyment. They help me think. They help me as I'm moving around. All right. Appreciate you in the comments. But once again, this is Afterthought. On Man with the Mic from up in Camden, New Jersey. This is Friday night, Man with the Mic night. We're going to get on here every Friday. Like, subscribe to the channel. We just in here giving our own opinions based off of experiences, things we've seen on this election, some of the stuff that we've come across. Just wanted to get the information out on the outlet where we're normally muffled and not able to have this conversation. Now we're going to be able to say what the fuck we want to say.
Right.
So this is not for the light at heart. This is for the controversial. This is for the person that does not believe anything that's coming from the media and wants to really dig deep. We got some stuff that we're going to expose and we're going to talk about. I mean, the information is out there. It's literally just up to you whether or not you want to do the research, whether or not you want to dig into it.
Right.
So,
right.
With that being said, what you got coming up, Man with the Mic? Is there anything you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
I'm not going to plug anything right now because I'm doing some things. I will say this. I am over in Philly at the convention center for the next couple of days doing some photography work. And I just left Philly. Philly looks crazy. Philly got Hummers, Humvees. They got military, they got police, they got people in the street on certain parts. It look like a ghost town because you get to a certain part of downtown and we just, acting an ass out there. So you gotta be cool out there. Or even if these things start popping up. The people are in control, not the president, the people. That's it.
It's obvious the people are in control. That's more than likely why we have so many issues coming across.
Right. Yeah.
But like just tuning in, like one of my thoughts I think that will help people is transparency has to be on both sides. And I mean just us talking to each other. I don't give a shit. I'm not talking about politicians. I'm not talking about all that. I'm saying if you and I are having a conversation and we disagree, we should be able to talk about why we disagree and come to a conclusion. It should not be where you disagree with someone and you throw them out. Case in point, sitting in the studio, if me and Miss T disagree on the stuff we've seen on Trump and Biden, I'm not going to throw her out just because she disagrees with my political views.
Right.
She has her own mind and she has her own way of thinking. But we as a people have to get to a point, and as Black people have to get to a point where we can have the conversation at least. And that's the problem that I think we have across the board is we can't even have the conversation. I mean, it's just weird.
And no one's trying to have the conversation. Nobody's trying to sit down and have a talk because they deal with the emotions too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm upset with my people because they don't look and listen.
Oh
And
man.
that's what hurts my feelings.
Oh, we about to open up some worms right here, man. I don't know who Free Spirit is, man, with the mic. I keep seeing the mic, and it looks like Mick to me from a distance. My apologies, man, with the mic. We got a question here from Free Spirit, and I'm definitely gonna answer this, but I'm gonna give you an opportunity to. Question literally is, when they say Black Lives Matter, what does that consist of?
You know what? I can tell by that person who's asking that, they already know.
Right.
But
it's a rhetorical question.
I appreciate that. Go ahead and get him. Go ahead.
It's a rhetorical question. Here's what I'm going to say. Black Lives Matter, period, point blank, is a false movement. That's all I'm going to say. What I mean by a false movement is it started out one way and it's currently representing and standing for something that does not represent Black Lives Mattering at all. It represents their movement and what they're trying to do. Period. I'm not going to say what they're trying to do.
So,
go online and Google Black Lives Matter. You will already know. The thing about it is we're all Americans. So American lives and all lives matter. Humanity matters. And that's afterthought saying humanity matters. All lives matter. So take it how you want to.
So when it comes to the bacon, lettuce, and mayonnaise movement, I'm not going to say the other thing because they will block us. We're just going to say bacon, lettuce, and mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm.
Those people in particular, when you go to their page, it is about sexual preference. It's about the LGBTQ community. So if you like bacon, lettuce, and mayonnaise, this is a movement for you. The problem is they masked it underneath a completely different movement because they would not have gotten the support. Those people that are in the bacon, lettuce, and mayonnaise, they do a lot of dark things. Mm-hmm. They are not who you think they are. We started by 3 lesbians. You can be gay, ain't my business. But do not mask it. Do not put on if you're a wolf, you're a wolf. Don't come in sheep clothing. And that's what they did. They hijacked black people's plight and pushed their agenda on black people's plight. So, yeah. You want to know who they are? They're some lying people. That's what they are.
That's what they are. Google them. You know who they are.
They liars, and they all practice a very dark belief.
Exactly.
And they literally do. So when you start to look into them and you start following them or following what's going on with them, you're gonna be like, oh hell no.
So here we got maybe about another 10 minutes on here. So I literally want to do a vent session. And when I say event session, I want to know, like, what the hell, man? What is going on with our people, bro? Like, this shit is fucking. What's going on? Tell me.
Niggas, listen. We've been programmed for a very long time. And Nick said it best. He said every generation is one that makes you out the matrix. And when you're talking to him, it's like he's speaking a coded language. Like, there's only a few of us that are getting out of the matrix and looking like, this ain't right. Mm-hmm. And you're trying to tell people, and they're like, no, this is the way that you do it. This is like when Kanye said, Harriet Tubman never freed the slaves. Come find out, his statement was technically correct. She never freed them. She went and got specific slaves with a specific skill and took them from the South and brought them to the people in the North. That was weird. Like when he said it, you're like, what? And the problem was this: nobody was concerned enough to look at why he would say that. There's no dumb billionaires. There are none.
Yeah, but they claim
He's smart enough to use that his family has mental issues against the public. Every weapon is a tool. Every tool is a weapon. I try to teach my kids that. No matter, it looks like a weapon. It could be a weapon to use, but you can use it as a tool. A knife can either stab you or it can double as a screwdriver. It depends on what you want to use, what you do with it.
that's it.
Our people are fucking stupid.
Well, here's the
That's all
thing.
it is.
Let's and I heard it earlier today. It's all based off of what the exposure aspect of it. Because remember, I don't know your age, well, I do, but I'm not going to expose that. But coming up during our generations, it was all about getting the fast money. It was all about getting that girls and the big house and the money and the jewelry. So what it did was it taught us to move in a certain direction and do whatever you got to do to get there. And a lot of people did whatever the hell they had to do to get there. But the problem is, in the process, they now expose our youth to a limit where at one point we were limitless in our thinking and our mindset. You know what I'm saying? It limited us to
slave thinking.
Yeah, it limited
for the longest time, and some of us are staying. I feel like to stay right. There is not just a neo. There is a whole movement of neo.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying. You cannot save anyone. You have to run and in the hope that they follow you out of the burning house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But if we're but here's the thing though, and this is going to be the rebuttal to that. They also taught Neo that at one point you ain't gonna have to run no more.
Right, but that means everybody behind you that didn't keep up is dead.
Ooh, shots fired. Okay, I get
Y'all,
that.
do you notice the story of Nat Turner? He got 900. He got 1,000 black people together. He said, "We are going to rise up and free our people. If you are with us, step forward." 900 of them stepped forward. 100 of them stepped back, stood back. He said, "Now turn around and look at the ones that stood there." He said, "The first thing we got to do is kill all the ones that didn't step up."
Say bye-bye. Because those are going to be your worst enemies. Those are going to be the ones that get you caught.
Niggas, look, black people are food, and these cows need to grow teeth and bite back. The cow has to grow fangs. And that's all there's to it. This cow has to transform into something that they have not seen or respected in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be honest, I'm in my feelings so much about this because I'm hurt that our people don't care about themselves enough to look into saving themselves. Real quick, 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said the black people that are here are the Native Americans of this country.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we wasn't strong enough to hold them off. So we deserve what we got. You come to my house if you want to. I got shit laying around here that's going to hit you that you wasn't even. I can beat you up in my kitchen because I know where everything is at.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know where the knives and the cups and everything is. You telling me that there was a white man that could navigate my country and catch me off guard and kill me? That makes no sense because they couldn't do it in the Congo. They had to use us in order to even get into the Congo. And they still can't go all the way in there. You telling me that they were able to do that here? Come on. That's 50-50. You're 50-50 with it. But that part hurt me. Because I thought about it like, damn, were we that weak that we got beat up?
And not just that. Think about it even a step further. If we was that weak then...
Oh, God, what are we now?
If we were that weak then...
They said there's no proof that slave ship ever happened. That this is where we shipped slaves out.
Okay, there's no proof. So why the fuck are y'all... I'm sorry. Let me
dial. Slave ships.
Let me dial it back.
Sink the ships.
But
when you decommission a ship, you sink it or you change the name.
But here's a question. If there's no proof that the slave ship never ever happened, why are you teaching it in our schools across the country?
Because they're saying it's a lie, and it's one of the lies that were perpetuated so that you would not know who you are. All right, so let's get this right. All right, you perpetuated a lie here.
This is interesting.
And this is how I feel about it. And y'all can, I said 2 minutes. This is my last 2 minutes. We were here, but we came from over there before those other people did. This is documented in the Africans sailed other places, but when they sailed and they landed, they helped. They integrated into the culture, not took over the culture. There were black people everywhere. 2, when Columbus landed, and he said, these look like the people from India. No. They looked and said, these look like the slaves that the Indians had. Because before we were ever enslaved by a white man, we were enslaved by a brown man or a red man.
Well,
and that's where the white people got the technique from. Oh, these look like the Indian slaves. Let's go get them from over there. Where did y'all get them from? Right there? Okay, I'll take that. How can y'all say the slave it never existed when they doing it right now in Libya? What the niggas be talking? What are you talking about? The niggas sell a whole bunch of people to Europe.
Like I said,
ain't this what the big problem was?
That's something for another day, because that vent session right there, that can go on for a whole nother 2 or 3 hours. You and I both know that. We have spent days talking about that. You know, it's crazy. With all of that said, my main and that since we're on a slave trade thing, I still don't get this Biden shit. I'm referring back to the election now. I don't get how you're voting for someone who shows that kind of fucking hatred. All that stuff is rooted in hatred, is rooted in hatred. Period. And it's been perpetuated through the society for a long time. And everybody wants to say that this man, Donald Trump, is creating a divide. And it's like, how? How are you creating a divide when you have tens of thousands of people showing up and of all different cultures? How do you do a Latino rally that has over like 10,000 people in it, and then they do a boat ride that has like 20, like so many hundreds of boats, and then a card ride that also was like just ridiculous and retarded? So this is happening everywhere. This happened everywhere. This wasn't just Florida. This was going on everywhere. But yet, the man that doesn't do any campaigning, barely has anyone at a rally, is going... I'm sorry, because now I'm sorry I had to take your event session, part of your event session, and turn it into mine. Oh, gosh.
But how could you... Listen, I'm going to break this down for y'all real quick. Hunter Biden was caught his laptop emailing his dad, the girlfriend's mad. She told the counselor that I was masturbating or something like that. Whatever. He had his thing out in front of the girl, in front of the 14-year-old girl. Yeah, and then he told his dad. He says, "I'm smoking crack." I was chasing her around naked. Now, to be clear, the daughter of the girlfriend is his niece because Hunter Biden is with his deceased brother's widow.
Mm.
And the dad co-signed on that bullshit? So does that mean you was smashing a wife before?
Wow.
Does that mean that's why Bo ain't here? Because Bo ain't want nothing to do with y'all? And he saw what y'all was doing? Oh, okay.
Wow. You getting all into it on that one. Keep going.
Right. So Bo decided, I'm not messing with y'all. Bo's girl is still on the whole situation. I'm still on this power trip.
Mm-hmm.
I rock with him now. Bo comes up dead from cancer. Nobody else in the Biden family ever had cancer.
And was
he
Bo
was a soldier?
The only other question?
Soldier. Maybe he got the stuff from over there.
Yeah,
maybe
but
not.
So it just shows up and he gone.
Oh, okay.
I mean, let's be honest. It just shows up. Your dad is, your family is multi-million-dollar family. You probably have the best insurance coverage that you can get because y'all are a multi-million-dollar family.
Wait, but check this out. Let me show you how this goes. The dad, Joe, is married to, I believe her name is Jill.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? All right, so Mrs. Biden and Mr. Biden are married. Mm-hmm. That is not Hunter and Bo's mother.
No, she died.
Hunter died in a car accident with the daughter and the two kids. The two boys were in there and they were in critical condition. The whole family is banged up. Mm-hmm. They died. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden marries the nanny. Mm. He was already messing with before the accident. So
right.
It's not above taking out somebody.
Listen. Listen. This
allegedly.
all
I heard.
This is all alleged.
I don't have the receipt. Maybe I'm wrong.
But here's my question.
But that leads to this. Their marriage, and there was another guy that brought this up. Their marriage date is almost 3 years prior to what they said it was.
Yeah, I seen that.
So that means Joe would have been married before his wife's death.
Which means Joe would have been married twice at the same time.
Joe would have been married. No, it means Joe was in a polygamous relationship.
Correct. That's what I mean. He had two wives.
So
at one point.
So he married his best friend's wife.
All alleged.
So why wouldn't his son think it's cool to take his
allegedly?
All of this weird stuff people be talking about, I don't know if it's true. It sounds outrageous.
But here's the thing.
It's 2020, as outrageous as normal.
Here's the thing. Normal. If any smidgen of this stuff is true, and I'll Miss T had mentioned a great point to me. It's just like Kamala Harris. If you are working with a chick, if y'all in the same position, y'all came into the job at the same time, right? You working with a chick, y'all came in the same time. 6 months later, she don't just get promoted to supervisor. She just get promoted to regional director. And then 8 months later, it just so happens that she's dating a VP. who's married. Now, I said that as an analogy to say this. Look up the information on how this woman started her career.
There's, but don't leave out the fact that there's two of them, because she has a sister.
Right. Who is associated with Hillary. But we're going to leave that alone too. I'm just saying, like, the jump start to her career
and she's not
wasn't
black,
fair.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fair that she was having with a married 60-year-old politician that openly admitted that that's exactly what happened. That was the crazy part. Like, right. Yeah, I was smashing that.
Yeah, I'm hitting that. Now, if she gets her position, right?
Shit crazy.
She sits now, y'all know her perversion. Y'all heard of all the stuff that we just said. She was sitting on the board with Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Y'all think they smashing her? Okay, I'll wait. That's all right. I don't even want to wait.
Wait. Let's go a step further. Let's go a step further. How did her name get in Hunter Biden's laptop? Oops.
And wasn't it one of the contacts?
She was on the target list. She was one of the people that he was saying right away would pretty much flow with the system. That's all that target list was for.
And didn't her sister work for Hillary, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But people call us, and just to let you know, the word conspiracy theory was brought up in the 1960s to discredit people that had credible information that most people didn't have. That is literally in the books in the FBI.
Yeah.
So cool. I got y'all. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I know nothing. I'm talking. No, I know nothing.
It's all talking alleged. Who knows what it is now? But
allegedly.
Like I said, we gonna end this. We're gonna get close. Like I said, we are talking Friday night with the mic out of Jersey. That's my hometown. I was born and raised in Camden, New Jersey. So shouts out to Camden. We definitely gonna do this every Friday as much as we can. And this is like our event session. This is where we get to talk because, we can have different opinions. We can argue back and forth about different things, but we can also have a conversation and still, get the max information out of it, which is what the conversation is for. It's not to sway you one way or another. It's not to make you feel a certain way. It's literally just to get the information out there to you and give you some food for thought. You know what I'm saying? So this is Afterthought out here in Florida. I appreciate each and every person that popped in. Even if you popped in and popped out, give us a like, subscribe. Check us out on Twitter because I will be starting to post a lot more. I just wanted definitely to get my Friday night vent session out with man from the mic. Shouts out also to Two Royal T. I will have for our next live next week, I will have our Unity of Awards shirts on display. So that way, you can get with Two Royalty and get those ordered. But to end this live stream, I just want to say that this election has been the most brutal piece of shit election, pardon my French, I've ever seen. I never thought that I would see in my lifetime something that literally you wouldn't want nobody, if you weren't living in America, you wouldn't want nobody to see what's going on. Because you would think that we were a third world country right now, burning down buildings and fighting amongst each other and arguing over who's right and who's wrong and who wants to take over. And all of this stuff literally has nothing to do with the people. There's been nothing done for the people. And then this businessman comes around and says, hey, I can help with the people if I can spend the economy. And if I spend the economy, I can put money in the people's pockets. And if I can put money in the people's pockets, They're going to spend money in the local stores, and the local stores will buy from the big businesses, and the big businesses will have to buy from the wholesalers. And then we all do business, and now we can export what we're doing. Wait, I'm sorry. I just thought like a businessman. I just thought like a businessman who we have in the office who has done that and now done it a second time. Began spinning this economy. But yet people want to go against him. The very people that he is fighting to spin the economy for. This man has zero reason to spin the economy for minorities.
Mm-hmm.
Zero. He's a multi-millionaire, probably a billionaire. His family's always had money. There's no reason for him to be trying to spin this for any minority in this country. To be quite honest, if he wanted to usher the new world order in, he could have did it 4 years ago. Soon as he got office. But since he's gotten on the office, he's fought constantly to try and right some of the wrongs that he has seen. And not just right them, but expose them to you so that you understand that you were wronged. But yet, we're fighting against them, America. American people are fighting against the man that is letting you know that you were done wrong, and here's what we can do to fix it. Here's a couple of policies I'm just going to make sure are already running. So whether I am here or not, it's still in the works.
Right.
It's still being fixed. But as Black America specifically, and I am targeting all minorities right now with these statements, specifically, we have not stepped up to the plate. We've allowed this cheating stuff to happen. We've allowed ourselves as minorities, the ones that were shown collecting ballots on November 4th, after the state had closed out the ballot counting, they were still collecting them. They were minorities. We're being used against each other. So with that being said, think about that, America. I love y'all. I'm going to come out here as much as I can. I'm going to get on here, and I'm just going to vent. Friday night, Mike Night with Man with the Mic. Every Friday between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, we usually going to try and get started. And we're going to have some topics. And then at the end of the session, we just going to vent it out. But America, Black America, minority America, and yes, also white America, you need to wake up. You literally just voted to higher taxes and lower the chances of you owning a home, Black America. Lower the chances of having that additional employee for that help.
Right.
Lower the chances of having lower premiums on your medical. You got to think about all of this hitting these polls. So with that being said, hope y'all come back. I'm just going to say like, subscribe. And whether you come back for this amount of food at the end of the night on a Friday is up to you. I thank you. God bless you. Just remember, God's got us. Thank you to Man with the Mic from out of New Jersey. Thank you to Miss T, even though she didn't chime in as much. And we out of here. Appreciate you. God's got us. Keep it pushing.
All right.